Wow.
Garth Marenghi's Darkplace was as weird as its title.
Garth Marenghi's Darkplace is very, very British.
Garth Marenghi's Darkplace is a dark place.
Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fallingtower's Watch the First podcast in which we watch the first episode of a series so that you don't have to. You know who's here. He's dressed up as if he belongs on the show.
That was my intent.
Rosenberg.
I almost said that Garth Marenghi's Darkplace is very tacky. That's why I'm dressed like this.
Very nice. Very nice. We also have a very special guest today. You may know her, but if you don't, you will know her soon. She's a streamer. She's a cosplayer. She does all kinds of cool stuff. You're going to find out more about her very soon. She is the enigma known as Chic.
Hi. Nice to be here.
My name's Ryan T. Husk. I'm not an enigma, by the way.
No.
Some people think I am. I'm more of a phenomenon.
Not even that.
Yeah.
You're more of just a thing. He's Ryan the Thing Husk.
What was that? There was like
that's
a game.
What the T for.
There was like a game that says like the category is thing, and you're like, that doesn't narrow anything down at all. It's a thing.
Wheel of Fortune?
It's
maybe a thing. Okay. Anyway, as you may have guessed, everybody at home, we are doing a review of Garth Marenghi's Darkplace, which came out in 2004. By the way, this first episode is entitled Once Upon a Beginning. And now we're going to talk about it. But before we do that, everybody at home, please go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe to our channel. And if you're listening in, just, give us 5 stars or whatever you do. Share it with your friends, give it away as a gift to friends in an email. And boy, if you want us to review a show in the comments below, please tell us what show that is by typing in like WTF He-Man. We've already done some of them. Or WTF She-Ra. We've already done one of those.
Yeah.
And let us know where to watch it. Say Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or Disney Plus, whatever. And
something that we have, though. Don't make us get a new streaming service. I mean, you probably don't know what we have. But you can probably guess by if you just go back and watch every episode.
We've got a lot of them.
Take note.
And boy, I guess that's about it. We'll just go ahead and get into it. Of course, WTF stands for Watch the First.
Yeah.
All right. So we will start off. I don't know. What's that feeling?
Yep. Who's that face?
Ah, that's a good one too.
Who's that face? That's a Madonna song practically. So we like to start off with a bang with our favorite game. And by our, I mean mine.
His favorite game.
And actually, Mike, you tell him what it is. You know what my favorite game is.
So it's his favorite game, but it's his favorite name that I gave it. And the name of this game that he likes to play, that I'm indifferent to, it's called Predictaments. Because we put ourselves in a predicament by making predictions about what we thought the other people will say. Ryan will say, oh, Michael and I have known each other for a very, very, very long time. So we can basically guess what the other person would thought about the show. Blah, 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 blah. Predictaments.
I'm not going to say that because you said it for me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's what I did for you.
All right. However, it's going to be tough because Michael doesn't know Sheik all too well. And I've known Sheik for a while, but we live in different area codes. So
that's why you said she's an enigma.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Michael, I predict, this is a very Michael show. Michael, you love British stuff. You love British comedy. You may have kissed the screen while watching this. You may have hugged it. You may have done a bunch of weird stuff. I think you've either already watched this show and loved it or will watch all of this show and love it, because this is a very, very Michael Kenyon Rosenberg kind of show. Chic, I'm going to guess that you liked it less than Michael, because almost everybody in the world would, and that half the time you weren't even sure if they were deliberately bad or just bad, or if this was supposed to be funny or not. Like, you were just like, what? I'm glad this thing is short, is I think what you were thinking. And you're like, how am I going to fill up an hour of talking about this with these guys? This is going to be really weird. I hope that they have a lot to talk about, because I don't really know what this thing is happening. I don't know anything about this. That's my guess. Michael, what do you predict?
So Ryan kind of gave his hand away because he thinks that I would love it, but I know that Ryan hates British comedy. He hates British shows completely anyway, but more specifically hates British comedy, doesn't get it, can't really understand what they're saying. And like he predicted about Sheik, he couldn't tell whether or not it was bad on purpose or supposed or just accidentally bad. Sheik, though, It's a tough one, because I literally just met Sheik. This is the first time we've ever met. So I had literally nothing about her. I'm sorry to say I've never watched your streams.
Oh, it's fine.
But he will.
But I think that she will think that this was charming. She may have had to turn on captions sometimes to figure out what they were saying. But I think that she felt that this had some charm to it. So she's definitely going to be on the plus side. Maybe not plus, but I think she could be a plus.
And by the way, I noticed while Mike was talking that I was always pleased with my shocked face, but Sheik's got a better shocked face than I do. I was like, look at hers. That's the face that I'm always trying to make that face, but it just looks like a dummy. But you're actually doing the face. So, and everybody
Faces
that's listening in, sorry, you're missing out, everybody. You're going to have to check out her Twitch stream to see that shocked face. Yeah. So, Chic, this is where it gets real tough. What are your predictions?
Okay.
I know.
As much as I've
done
have so much research about you guys.
You're gonna have a little bit of an inside track because Ryan and I know each other so well, so we can basically guess. Yeah, but you can use that as a cheat sheet.
Okay, for Michael, the cosplay, it gives it away. You love it. You're a big fan. You got dressed up. You're digging it. I feel like you could be in the show. I don't know how you should take that, but honestly, I feel like you were kind of vibing with it. There might be a slight, like, you're not sure if you go to the next episode or not, but you weren't bored. And that's what I'm getting. But I've never played this, and I'm actually pretty bad at predicting things for people. So
that's why it's a predicament. That's why you put yourself in a predicament.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll see. And then Ryan, I know you, but I don't know you. And I feel like you're blocking my telepathic waves.
I'm putting up a psychic wall.
You're like, no, you're not going to read this. I'm feeling that you were surprised with how much you actually got a little interested in it, and you will watch a second episode.
Ooh.
And that you don't love or hate it, but you're intrigued and you're thinking of moving into the next episode. That's what I'm getting.
A bold prediction.
Yes. So speaking of bold predictions, everybody at home right now, this is your moment to shine. In the live chat and in the comments below, or in the comments below, I should say. Yeah. Make your predictions. Do you think Michael liked it? Do you think I liked it? Do you think newcomer Sheik, the psychic, liked it? Make your predictions. Let us know and go ahead and tell us why you made that prediction if you'd like in the comments below. And while you're typing that out, I know you need a little bit of time. So Michael's going to buy you some of that time by telling us what this show is even about. Check this out, Sheik.
This parody series is an unearthed 80s horror drama, complete with poor production values, awful dialogue, and hilarious violence. The series is set in a hospital in Romford, which is situated over the gates of hell. In this episode, Liz's first day on the job corresponds with Douglas's friend staying at the hospital as a patient, which results in a portal to hell opening between Darkplace.
Wow. See, I never read these synopses beforehand. So when Michael reads them, I go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I should have read that.
But
I like to go
you
in
do faces,
blind.
I do voices. So
I love it. Sometimes I do voices if they feel like coming out.
Scary. Boy, we just found out she's from the dark place.
yeah, I was gonna
So
say.
when they want to reveal themselves, I never know when they might happen. So, but Sheik, you thought that was fun. Wait till you get a load of this game. What we like to do now is we like to compare and contrast what we expected before watching this first episode versus what we actually got when we watched it. Michael's going to walk you through it a bit more, I bet.
Well, this is a segment that we love to call. Ryan loves it when I call it this.
No, I don't.
Expectations, because we compare what we expected versus what we got. So first we just talk about what we expected. Then we talk about what we got. And the intersection of those two is our expectations.
So everybody at home, if that's not clear to you by now, I don't know. I don't think there's any more ways that we could say it. So here we go. Michael, before you watch this first episode of Garth Marenghi's Darkplace, entitled Once Upon a Beginning, what did you expect, if anything?
I actually expected nothing. I had never heard of this show until it was recommended to us, by the way, by Mr. Scotty Baker, and Eve England also recommended this to us. I think both of them.
That's right. Shout out to Scotty Baker and Eve England out in Wales. These are their suggestions. Thank you for reminding us. Michael, good stuff. And please continue.
Yeah. Well, I had never heard of it, so I didn't know what to expect. You know, even if you look at this, they all have they're doctors and they have guns. What's that all about? Who knows? Like, so yeah, I had no expectations. I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't even read the synopsis before I watched the show. I always just copy that later and plug it in so that I can do my weird voices that I love.
Yeah. Sheik, before you watch this first episode, what did you expect, if anything?
When I saw the title, I just thought, I'm like, first of all, I've never heard of this ever. And so then I'm like, okay, like, is this like an old show then? Like, what is this? So when I clicked on it, if I'm like, it's on Amazon, okay. And when I clicked on it, saw the picture, I thought it would be just like an old movie. Well, saw it's a show, but like the old vibes of just old time, like horror, like kind of cheesy, but not meant to be cheesy. And then so I'm like, okay, but I did kind of read through and I saw it said comedy, and I wasn't expecting comedy at all. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the key, guys. This is what I expected.
That's what I want to know.
Not really anything. I remember when Scott Baker suggested it, but I don't remember if he told us anything about it, like whether it was a comedy or a horror. I think I had the impression it was a horror thing.
Dark Place. I mean, that, yeah. But a half hour, you think comedy. So.
Yeah, I don't even remember if I knew it was comedy, but, Eve England also suggested it, and she's actually very violent. So when she makes a suggestion, you have to do it. It's worrisome. She's out in Wales, but she'll make a plane trip if she has to put a point across. So anyway, I didn't really expect anything other than I thought it might be horror. I thought maybe it was a comedy. I knew who suggested it. I know Scott suggested it vehemently. I remember him being like, really, you got to watch it. That's what he said. Something like that. But that's what we expected. Here's the big fish in the room that's flopping around. Michael Kinnan Rosenberg, what did you actually get? Tell them how much you loved it.
Well, when I first saw who was in it, maybe a lot of you don't know, but this guy right here, Richard Ayoade, is hilarious. He is one of my favorite British comedians. He was in a show called The IT Crowd. He was in a movie called The Watch. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He does a bunch of voices and things. He talks like this. My name is Richard Ayoade. And he's hilarious to me. Also, I love Matt Berry, who Ryan recognizes from a show that we reviewed called What We Do in the Shadows as Laszlo.
Oh boy.
But
Yep. I know.
And
Yeah,
so
there we
that's
go.
why I was like dressed like this. I was like, oh, this is kind of something that what's the name of his show? It's like something Rivers or something.
So
Dr.
Bat Guy from your favorite show is Garth Marenghi in this show.
No, Garth Marenghi is this guy
Oh,
who
right.
actually
They're so similar.
co-wrote and co-directed this show with Richard Ayoade.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's all stuff I found out later. But while I was watching the show, I did quite enjoy it.
Oh, I'm shocked. You more than quite enjoyed it. You quite enjoyed the shit out of it.
Maybe. We'll have to see, won't we?
Sheik, what did you actually get?
I
You can
don't
poop
know.
on it if you have to.
I don't know what I watched. I
Just
was
be
like,
honest.
okay.
That's the important thing.
So while watching this is my face. And I literally at one point went, how long is this? Like,
See, I predicted that.
but I couldn't stop. Like I wasn't bored. I was like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? So I still don't think I have the vocabulary to describe what I saw, but it was interesting. And honestly, I was trying to take it from an artist's point of view. I love art and theater and things, and so I'm like, okay, let's just. And it was pretty interesting. I just, it wasn't what I expected though. The comedy and like I think, was it you, Ryan? One of you said that like I wasn't sure if it was on purpose or not. The cheesiness.
Yeah, Ryan
and
said that
everything.
at first. Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of British stuff either. I mean, not for like I just haven't. So maybe you can recommend some stuff, Michael. But so I don't know. Like I feel I can't, I don't really know. I feel like I would have to watch a little bit more maybe to have more of an opinion.
Interesting. Poignant. So I'm going to tell you guys what I got.
This is what I'm dying to hear.
Well, stay alive because it's about to happen. When it first, right when it started playing, man, my eyes rolled back so far that they fell on my butt. I was just like, am I going to have to watch one of these crap ass shows that people like, what, it's just, I just was like, I don't deserve this. This isn't fair that everybody, whatever, thinks it's so funny to make me watch terrible shows.
You deserve
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
deserve this.
But it turned out to be brilliant.
Yeah.
It turned out to be exceptionally brilliant to me, to my eyes. I was like, I just kept saying, this is freaking brilliant, but they couldn't hear me, but I said it anyway.
Maybe
You're supposed to say, this is freaking brilliant.
No, I would never try to be like them because then I would hate myself. Maybe I hate myself for liking this, but it was brilliant. It was freaking a brilliant show. I know, Sheik. I know, weird, right? And I think part of it is coming from the filmmaking world.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made it so fun for people like me and probably people like Mike. Well, no, Michael, British people could poop on a newspaper and he'd be like, 10. Like right on the sports section.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That would make me very happy. Yeah.
But I think what was so brilliant about it was it felt as though, to me, they almost had a checklist of all of the things that make crappy short films or student films bad, bad audio, bad editing, bad acting, like all of the things,
writing,
and they just crammed everything. They're like, it's been 3 seconds without something terrible. That's
true.
And some of it was brilliantly snuck in, which we could talk about more in a bit, but it was just jam-packed full of terrible filmmaking that we've all seen before, but not in such high doses on purpose.
I made a note that this is the kind of show that I would have made if I were British in the early 2000s and somebody gave me a bunch of money.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like all of us in filmmaking that like to do comedies have all thought that they wanted to do something like this. But the problem is that anytime we try to do something like this, it doesn't end up being terrible good. It ends up being terrible.
Right.
And this is one of the first times ever that I've seen somebody trying to make something so terrible that it's good and actually succeed in doing that. Because usually it's just terrible. But Sheik, how terrible was this?
It wasn't. That's why I said like I would still watch the second episode. So
we don't want to give that away just yet.
Oh shoot! Cut that out. Cut that out. I wouldn't.
It's okay. Please continue on with your thought. How terrible was it though? Actually,
it was awful. I've never seen something so crappy. Don't like it at all. No, it was kind of, I don't know, there's moments where it's like cringe, obviously, like but that's the purpose. But like you said, like it makes sense. It's terrible, but good, because like if it was awful, like really bad, I'd probably just stop and be like, I don't know what to tell them. I don't like this, but I can't say I don't like it. I just say that it's terrible and you can't stop. You can't stop watching.
Like throwing up. It's terrible, but you can't stop.
Yeah. It's like throwing up, but it tastes good.
That happens.
And I wouldn't want to stop. Yeah.
I love it.
Maybe if I had just eaten a bunch of garlic. But I'm interested to hear what Ryan thinks some of the funniest lines were.
Well, let me tell you. First of all, I don't think that the writing was what made the show that funny, because I feel like if somebody just showed the script to a production company, they'd be like, most likely they'd be like, pass. I feel as though the writer must have also been the director, or at least in league with each other. Okay. Because
like I said, it was
clearly
this guy and Richard Ayoade. I forget this guy's name, but they co-wrote and co-directed it.
You clearly have to have the vision of the final product and be the person making it. Because if you just look at the script, it just looks like a dumb script. And then if somebody says, yeah, but you don't understand, we're also going to make it like really terribly edited and there's going to be dumb acting delays, you're going to be like, okay, so it's going to be worse than the script? I don't get it, So it has to be somebody or a group of people that have the vision to see it all the way through in-house. And then the people watching it going, I get it. I get it now.
I think there are a lot of funny lines. For instance, if that's how you treat your friends, imagine how you treat your enemies. Worse, I expect.
Yeah. See, that was a Mike line for sure. The worst, but that's been done before. I'll tell you, the funniest line to me was not even the line that was funny, but how it was delivered, which is when the dude, the ayahuasca dude, or whatever you said his name was, Richard,
Ayoade.
Whatever. You know what ayahuasca is, Sheik. When it's a drug, everybody. So it's a plant, whatever. So was when they're all fighting, and then there's a long pause, and dude says, all right, calm down. I laughed I think I put in all caps, I said, the hardest I've laughed in a while.
Wow.
Like right there, because there was the long pause. I watched it like 5 times, that part. There was the long pause. So the pause made it hilarious. The delivery of how he said, I'm just like, dude, I swear it felt like I was watching an elementary school stage play. Like kids that just have the lines, but there's no second take. They're just like, oh, wait, is it whose line? Oh, it's my line. Okay, everybody calm down. And then there was even like the little nuances of during the pause, everybody freezes. But then as soon as he starts talking, then a couple of them start moving again. Like they're like, okay, cool. Like that was one of the funniest deliveries, and that's directing and acting there. that just floored me with how that was an A+ moment, I thought, personally.
But
Sheik's going like, am I in the Twilight Zone?
I try to remember. Okay, first of all, disclaimer: I have the worst like memory ever, so I'm trying to remember. I'm like, there was one line. Oh, I should have. I usually write things down because my memory's so bad. I literally have to write stuff out. There was one, and I'm like, that was hilarious. I can't remember. It's near the end. But another part I remember being like, what the heck? Like, I forget what it's the main dude, the Garth dude, and he's talking, and then he's just like, I need a shower. Like, I don't know where, like, just like, and then literally that, that's what happens. And you're like, wait, like, I don't know. I love random stuff. And I think those are the things that kind of kept me intrigued. It's just it's so random. And I'm like, wait, what? So I like that part, but I wish there was others. So there's a few good lines in this. There were, and sometimes you can tell like the little dubbing was off or whatever.
Okay.
The audio.
Yes, let's please.
It's like
talk
a TikTok
about
video.
The audio, because that was again, that's not a script thing. I mean, they could write it in the script, but it doesn't belong on a script. Like for example, when a different person does ADR for a character and it's so obvious, like one time we're watching the dude talk, but it's clearly somebody else's voice is doing ADR over. And then another time when we don't see the person, but we hear the voice of like, I'll take a cup of coffee or whatever it was. And then it turns to this guy and you're like, that wasn't him that said that, but that stuff was brilliant all day long. The audio was probably the most consistently funny thing to me, because bad audio is just like the biggest mistake that people make. And this was bad audio up and down. It was all bad ADR. It was wrong person ADR. I actually texted Scott Baker last night at, whatever it was, 1 a.m. when I'm watching this. And I says to him, where did it go? Well, who cares? Basically, I said the audio was hilarious. How come I can't find it? Okay, whatever. Just trust me, I did. Oh, there it is. So I said, first of all, I said the sound is hysterical. I said the attention to details, these guys, and the ugly editing. And then I asked him, I was like, wait, so it's 2004, but they're supposedly showing this old series from the 90s. He said, yeah. I said, okay. But then I said in all caps, when I was about midway through this, I said, Mike is going to shit himself with this one.
Oh, no.
And I was right.
I'm one of few authors who's written more books than he's read.
See, that was less fun. Here's some funny lines that I thought were funny, in my opinion.
In a year's time, I'll be a woman.
One was at the end when he said,
yeah, that was a good one.
What line was that?
The girl.
In a year's time, I'll be a woman.
Girl. Oh, that was funny.
I'm
yes.
a big girl now. Yeah.
you're like 40, dude. It's like he just takes lines from whatever and just drops them in. But another one that was really good is at the very end, he says, go see to the mother. I had to put a cap on her shoulder. And I don't know why that was funny, but it was funny to say I put a cap. And then when he said, it was a double-edged point. That was another very funny.
I caught that too, yeah.
Another very funny line there.
I've never exploded, but I can imagine what it would be like.
Yeah, I'm a big girl now. In a year's time, I'll be a woman. That was definitely a good one. And
I'm sure we all feel that he exploded too young. The padre where he's talking at the
that whole exploding scene where the dude's just ahead and he's exploded, but then a shovel hitting him kills him somehow,
and it just knocks him around the room too.
And then when he's dead, he's all whole again. By the way, did you guys notice that?
Yeah, like they pieced him back.
He exploded.
No, what was it? The one part where the girl just like. It's the after the woman part with her eyes, because they're like reading each other's mind, but then they don't.
Yeah,
like they on and off can read each other's mind, and then she's just like, watch this, like, and her eyes are just like black for a second. Like, wait, wait, what? And they're like, don't do that. Like, what am I watching?
See, another line that was very funny to me, but that if I read it on a script, I wouldn't have thought it was funny, was when the dude says, Garth says, if everyone around you had died, you'd be sarcastic too. And then Liz to herself goes, yes, that makes sense. And that wouldn't be funny on a script to me. But just the way watching it, somehow I'm like, I would have been wrong. That's funny as hell. That killed me.
That was good. Yeah, that one was a good one.
I can tell you right now, Scott Baker is very happy. And so is Eve England. I think Eve might have thought that Ryan would hate this show.
She probably hoped I would. She's like, I'll teach him a lesson. Being all non-violent. I'll show him. Yeah. And then at the beginning, when the cat gets tossed out.
Yeah. She like kneels down to pet the cat. And just like toss like the cat is like going towards her, but it's like they have to toss it towards her.
Yes. See, these are all things that we've all thought we could do and it would be hilarious. But if we did it, it would not be hilarious. It wouldn't work. We'd be like, don't you get it? We're just trying to be bad. The person would be like, yeah, okay. Well, you succeeded.
You're just bad. You're just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think the funniest guy was that Richard guy behind you, Michael.
Yeah, he is hilarious. He's definitely my Favcac.
Oh dear, here it comes.
Favcac, which is the segment that we like to call Favcac, which basically stands for favorite character. Favcac.
Yeah, that's just Mike that calls it Favcac.
Yeah, we all call it that. We love it.
Chic, who is your favorite character?
We all do. Kind of like the exploding dude. No, I'm just kidding. I that's a hard question, honestly. I mean, they're all kind of interesting characters. I like the girl because, well, not because of a girl, but I really liked how random she was. I feel like her, well, they're always kind of pretty random, but hers, I don't know. She just, she was really random. Like all the weird stuff. I don't know. It's like she didn't really fit in a sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say. She was just very out there character, very random, her lines. And I don't know. I'd cosplay as her.
Yeah.
Oh, you should. You and Mike.
I wanted to, that would be fun.
You're a woman.
But give me 2 more years.
She shows up at the hospital. She's like, "Oh, I'm a doctor. Do you have any jobs?" I just graduated medical school.
Yeah, so I liked her character. I mean, if I had to pick a character, it was just, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me. I think I'm still processing this episode.
Ryan?
My favorite character? Probably this Richard guy. Thornton. There was some kind of Thornton, I think his character name was.
Yeah, Thornton Reed, but then he played a character named Lerner or something. Dean Lerner.
Yeah. So
Dean Lerner played Thornton Reed. Cool it, Sanchez, or you'll get a knuckle supper.
Yeah, Dean Lerner playing Thornton Reed. That's what we got. So probably him. I mean, those two other dudes kind of, it was hard to even tell them apart. I mean, like one had glasses, but they're very similar in nature. Although the one that didn't have the glasses was the one that had all the funny ADR. So that's kind of his thing. But the Dean Lerner guy had, my favorite delivery.
Mm-hmm.
He was very funny. And then when they had like the little confessional moments, I don't remember what he said, but how he delivered it was very funny. So to me, he was the guy that had the best delivery. So I enjoyed his character the most, which I didn't expect. I expect the main character to be the funniest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's just naturally what you think. But then I was like, sorry, you ain't the funniest, bro.
Yeah. Well, I was expecting to think that Matt Berry, the guy who plays this guy.
You love him.
I love him. So I was expecting him to be the funniest. But
and his middle name is Dingle.
Richard Ayoade is just, he kills me every time. So if I ever watch a show, actually there's another show with the two of them. It's called The IT Crowd. If you're looking for British comedies, Sheik, that's a good one. The IT Crowd. They're both in it. I've
heard of that one, yeah.
But Richard Ayoade is just hilarious.
Ayahuasca.
Yep.
Okay. Best TV event since Quantum Leap. By the way, I thought their accents were like Australian. I'm like, what British accent is that? I couldn't, like, it sounded British, but I couldn't place, like, it didn't sound London. It didn't sound Cockney or Liverpudlian or Portsmouth. I couldn't place. So I was like, are they Australian or something or South African? I couldn't tell.
They're definitely British.
I guess so.
It didn't
Richard
sound too Aussie to
went,
me.
went to Cambridge, so.
Just was hard to pinpoint where. Everybody in the comments below, let us know, where are their accents from in Britain land,
It
aka
could be all mixed.
probably England. Yeah. Maybe that's why I was so confused. But
well, Eve Wales out in England should be able to tell us.
Yeah, she'll know.
The main guy's accent reminded me of the King in Maleficent. That's who his voice and his accent sounded like. I don't know if you guys saw the Maleficent movie. Yeah, sounded like the King.
A long time ago, though. He was definitely.
I saw the trailer.
Made me think of.
He was definitely the most difficult one to understand for me.
Yeah, that accent, like, I feel like I've heard this voice before, but it's a different actor, but he sounds like him. But I feel like looks wise, he made me think of Jack Black, and I don't know why. They don't look alike if you look at them both, but I feel like Jack Black could pull him off.
Oh, I thought that too. No, I definitely thought
it. Okay. Like a British Jack Black.
They could redo it in America, you know, and he could be the guy.
I was reading that the show only went one season due to poor ratings. But there's been a resurgence of it's like a cult classic now. There's been a resurgence of interest in it. And I guess there's some like petition or something. People are trying to get a second season made somehow or something.
Oh, they might. Nowadays that works. I
Get
will
that
say
Netflix
that
money.
when the dude had his whole body blown off and the dude hit him with the shovel, I was expecting and wanting him to bounce around and be like, that hurt too. Or, like still be
like he's still alive. Right?
And just be like, that really hurt. And then the guy has to like start bashing with a helmet. He's just like, ow, or hitting him with the shovel and just like, can't you just shoot me or something like that? Because I just didn't think that if he exploded and it's like, oh, this really hurts, hurry up and kill me, then I feel like just hitting him with a shovel probably wouldn't seal the deal either.
That's what's funny about it.
Yeah. All right. So Chic, we've had a lot of fun so far, but we're going to pivot now and we're going to talk about you for a moment, if that's okay with you.
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I'm weirder than the show though, so be careful.
Mike's gonna cosplay as you next.
Ooh, dude, I'm here for it.
You with the mustache.
You got a great background, very colorful. I also see way back there it says just Chic.
Oh, you can see that? Yep. I wasn't sure how much it shows. It's little right now.
It shows, and that just so happens to point us in the direction of your Twitch. Is that correct?
Yes.
What do you do on Twitch? Can you tell us?
So I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I've been mostly just part-time enjoying it as a hobby, but now as I'm doing it more, I am starting to really enjoy it and hoping that I can bring it into a full-time. That's the hopes, but right now I'm just really enjoying streaming. I'm a variety streamer, so I don't just stream just games or just chatting on Twitch. Like you can literally do like this, where you can just chat with your community, and a lot of times we'll just have conversations. It could be about shows, or it could be about certain video games, or just about life in general. And I really enjoy it because it makes me feel connected to those who follow. Because I don't want just people. I want to feel connected with those who are watching my content. And then sometimes I just play video games, or we'll do community nights where we play games where others can use their phones. Like certain games, you can use your phone to connect and you can all play with each other. And so, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I still have some cosplay, but instead of focusing on that, I've moved into streaming.
Oh, do you want us to show one of your cosplays? By the way, you sent one in.
Yeah, that was that one's one of my favorite like comic ones. I love X-Men. I love X-Men.
Ryan's interested.
Yep,
yeah,
check this out. So this is you as Jubilee. Nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved that. Was a really costume of mine because some of mine are very elaborate. I did do Maleficent from the Angelina Jolie Maleficent.
Wow.
And it was expensive and it took forever to make. I make my own costumes, by the way. It was just like I really like to make things, so it was really fun getting into cosplay. But,
what's your favorite game to play on Twitch?
It can be hard because it kind of go through different types of games. Right now, I honestly really like the new game Elden Ring. I don't know if you guys know those. It's a Dark Souls. It's from Dark Souls, or the series, and it's a very challenging game. It's very hard. I'm not that great, but I am far enough in the game where you can summon your friends, and so they join you and can go along. So for me, it's really fun because it's super challenging, but it's one of those games like when you defeat things, when you get past, you're like, yes, I did it. So, and the lore is so good, but you have to really pay attention to understand the lore of the game. So it's not out there in your face. It's pretty dark and depressing, honestly, but it's really fun to play. So I enjoyed that one. But then I'll also really enjoy this game called Muse Dash, which is very colorful and it's a rhythm game. So I just like different things. And that one you just kind of like Guitar Hero, like a rhythm game. And that one you use cute little waifus to like go through and hit
What's a waifu?
A very cute anime girl, and you use them and they hit like the whatever they use, whatever weapon. It's usually like an instrument, and they hit the notes, and you have to hit the keys, or if you use a controller at the right time. And it's just fun because it's like fun Japanese music, and a lot of my community, we like the Japanese culture and games and everything. So that one's a fun one to play and like kind of get challenged, but also just be like, it's still relaxing in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Out of Michael and myself, Mike's definitely the gamer. He's definitely into waifus and the cosplaying, the Japanese culture and stuff. Yeah.
Get your waifu. No, I mean, I definitely used to do more gaming, but I definitely love. Have you ever done any Legend of Zelda? I know that Breath of the Wild is a big one right
that's
now.
Where my name comes from. I stole it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Sheik.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. Yeah.
Yes, I stole this name in high school because my friends all gave each other a nickname, and they're like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then I'm like, "Oh, I love Sheik," so I'm like, "I'm Sheik," and it stuck with. Now I'm still Sheik.
Wow.
Actually, Michael and I have a tie to the name Sheik as well. I just remembered when we first started our band entitled Fallingtower. One summer, it was very hot. And so we pulled off our shirts and put them on our heads and put on my mom's funny giant 80s sunglasses that she still had. And we called ourselves the Fly Sheiks. And we had, do you remember that, Mike? And we had a couple songs that were specifically Fly Chic songs.
What songs were those? I don't remember.
I don't remember. It was a long time.
We probably just jammed or something. I can imagine us jamming on like. I mean, when it was hot, we don't want to wear a shirt.
Yeah, but we definitely had a couple. But anyway, so the Fly Chic. So we're basically the same.
Yeah,
we're practically the same.
And Ocarina of Time was what I played a lot, and so I definitely I know Chic, and that's really cool that you got your name from Chic.
Yeah,
I think that Chic shows up in Breath of the Wild, though, too, right? I don't know. I've never played it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, but like they kind of like there's a few games where they have like a Sheik character, I think. Like they put them in. I loved Ocarina of Time. That was the first RPG I ever played because my uncle had it in his room. My uncle fell asleep and I went in there as a little like 9-year-old kid, and I went in there and I was like, oh sweet, like this game, like this looks fun. I started playing it, and then I went home, told my dad, and he was like, well, we could get it for you, I guess. And I was like, yes. And then I just never stopped playing games.
Yeah,
that was my first love of a video game.
Wow,
and a star was born. Well, that's all really cool. So everybody at home, Michael's going to include Sheik's links in the description box below. So please be sure to click on those. And if you like gaming, or if you just like stuff, hang out with Sheik during her live Twitch things. Yeah, if you like things, and I know you do, just go ahead and click on those links and follow Sheik wherever she wants to be followed. And it should be a good time for all.
Yay!
And now she's applauding, not just for that, but also because she knows what's next. Michael, what's next? Oh, there it
Bottom
is.
line. It's called The Bottom Line is the name of this next segment. Yeah, Sheik knows. Bottom line. We're underscoring the bottom line because that's what it's called. Ryan thinks it's called something else, but that's only in his mind.
Yeah. So it's time for the terrible twos, everybody. If you can
Bottom
believe
line.
that. The bottom line is actually the terrible twos. It's the
No,
final
it's just the
two
bottom
questions of the show. And it's the two most important questions, which is obviously why we call it
It's
the terrible
really
twos.
the bottom line of what we think of the show. So
I'm pretty sure it's the bottom line. Yeah. Bottom line.
Right. The terrible twos.
nice.
So
Bottom line.
question
Bottom
number
line.
one. The question number one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, what would you give this first episode of Lemon Meringue Pie's Darkplace?
Oh, you mean Garth Marenghi's Darkplace? I give this first episode of Garth Marenghi's Darkplace.
Oh,
Ryan
boy, here it comes.
says it's brilliant. It's bloody brilliant. And I think it is also bloody brilliant. And I gave this episode an 8.8.
Not that brilliant.
8.8.
Oh, wow.
Sheik, tell
8.8.
Michael why he's wrong and tell us on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this first episode?
Sorry, Michael. But
8.8?
I give this movie a 6.5.
See,
Well, it still means I was right because I said she was going to be a plus. I said she wouldn't be a plus, but she'd be a plus. And 6.5 is definitely a plus.
Well,
True.
true.
now everybody at home, last week somebody gave a 6.5 as well. If you want to find out what show that was and who gave it a 6.5, check out our episode number 116. It just went up last week with meteorologist Katie Nicolau, who's a 2-time Emmy nominee. So check that out. Somebody gave it a 6.5. You will find out who. I'll tell you what I give this.
6.5ers.
I'll tell you what I give this. Well, when I watched this, as you know, I was like, okay. I mean, I'm just going to skip everything. It's a 9.8 for me.
Wow.
It is positively, stunningly brilliant. It did every single filmmaking silliness, but they did it in a way that was just not like where they're like, get it? See, we're being dumb. Get it? They just did it and let us watch it and catch it. And they delivered it in such a tiny fine line to walk, to do something that's this terrible and deliberate, but make it in a way that's funny and great and brilliant. It's nearly impossible to do, and these guys did it. 9.8 from me.
Wow.
I can't give it a 10 because this is trash, but come on.
Brilliant trash, brilliant rubbish.
That's what it is. That's their punk band, Brilliant Rubbish. So
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Question number 2. For the purposes of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of Garth Marenghi's Darkplace, entitled Once Upon a Beginning. But now that the podcast is over and we're free to move about the internet, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, would you watch the second episode of your own volition?
By the way, how brilliant is that title? Once Upon a Beginning. It's like once upon a time, but then it's also like the beginning, but then it's like once upon a beginning. I do want to mention really quickly while I have the floor that this show reminded me a lot of another show called The Spoils of Babylon with Will Ferrell, who plays like an author and director who directed this book that he wrote called The Spoils of Babylon, but it's terrible. And it also stars Kristen Wiig, who is like starring in the show that he directed, a movie that he directed. So WTF Spoils of Babylon. Spoilers, I've seen it. But maybe you want Ryan to watch it as well. If he thinks that this Garth Marenghi's Darkplace is good, maybe
lightning doesn't strike twice. I'm going to hate it.
Well, you don't know. You don't know. But I would watch the second episode of this. Obviously, I would.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I'm actually surprised you only gave it an 8.8. I'm like, who
Practically
are
a
you
9.
and what have you done to Michael? Like, come on.
Okay,
I thought you were going to just give it a 10 plus and just vomit on love hearts all over it. So,
Binged it.
yeah. Sheik, same question to you. Of your own volition, we've got a hint, but of your own volition, would you watch the second episode?
I say I would. Will I really? I'm not sure. It's when I have time for that. But I kind of want to invite, honestly, yeah. And I kind of want to invite some other people to watch it because now I'm interested in knowing what like friends of mine like might watch. Like, I'm not coming from like how I don't work like in film at all. And my sister went to school for film, so I'm kind of interested in showing her. But I still feel, I'd watch the second one. As weird as it is, it's still like it still makes you want to see what else is gonna happen. So yeah.
You know, that's funny. I can't imagine how fun that would be to be watching this with some pals. Man,
Dude, like having commentary right then and there, like with a group of friends.
Everybody
I feel like
just laughing.
watch party.
Yeah. My goodness. So for me, I would not watch the second episode. I don't need to. There's no reason to. The story, I was barely even following the story. There isn't even a story. I mean, I guess there is, but I wasn't following it. I really don't care. It was just brilliantly directed and conceptualized and edited, and all of the tricks they did. Now, of course, I'm thinking if they do this for 15 episodes or whatever, is it still going to be 6 only?
6 episodes. That's all there is.
Oh, wow. So I'm thinking, like, is it really still going to be funny doing the same tricks over and over? It's like after a while, you're kind of like, yeah, we get it. It's not really funny anymore. But maybe they'll just keep doing new things. I don't know how they could keep coming up with new ways of making things shitty. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but I didn't feel any need to watch the second episode. I felt very, very content with that first one and was like, cool, I'm good.
I've said it many times before. I've said it many times that Ryan hates to like things. He hates to like things. So he liked this show. He liked this show a lot. He loved it. He gave it a very high score.
It deserves it.
But he doesn't want to see more of it. He doesn't want to see more of something that he
doesn't want
loves.
to commit. So commitment issues then.
No, I just don't need. I'm just like, I
it's not even
feel the need to watch.
The question isn't will you? The question is would you? And so he loved this, but he still would not watch more because he hates to like things.
I just didn't feel the need to watch anymore.
Hate to like it. Yeah, you hate that. You hate the fact that you loved this first episode.
I want more people to watch it so that I can share in their glee, but I don't need to watch it again.
Scott Baker and Eve England. Should Ryan watch more of this show? Yes or no? And I know you're saying yes. Will he? Would he? Will he? No. Because he's
maybe they're going to say it only gets worse. Yeah.
Because he's a sourpuss. Let's see what the people on. He's a sour curmudgeon. So the next episode, this first episode was an 8.1. Next episode is 8.2. Episode after that, 7.7. Then 8.2, 8.1, 8.2. So it does get better.
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, speaking of getting better, we're going to make your day get better by ending this podcast, you guys. So Chic, thank you so much for playing with us. Your background, your hair, your personality is all very colorful, and we really appreciate the fun that you bring and your good energy. And we appreciate that you gave the show a 6.5 and still said you would watch it because you're an optimist. You're like, check it out.
I wasn't satisfied. I have to keep waiting to see if it gets better.
Yeah.
Nah, it's interesting.
Ryan's a sourpuss.
Yeah, well. It's okay.
So everybody at home, if you'd like us to review a show, in the comments below, just type WTF and the show and let us know parenthetically where we can find it. Amazon, Hulu, Peacockle, whatever. We'll check it out.
Disney Plus, Paramount Plus.
And I guess let us know what you think of this show. It's a definite cult classic feel. That's for darn sure.
Tootin'.
And that's about it, right? Michael, share this with your pals. Give us a like. And go live your lives. Go make something terrible, everybody. Like, you need any encouragement to do that. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Everybody right now nowadays, practically.
That's why I stopped. That's why I stopped. I was like, everything I make is terrible. I'm done with this.
And I'm not even trying to make it terrible.
Yeah.
And then when I try to make something terrible, it's even worse.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm trying to say is that this podcast was so terrible that it was good.
Mm-hmm. This podcast was very colorful, like Chic.
This podcast was brilliant, and next time I might be a woman.
In a couple of years, we'll have her back
in a couple
of
of years.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you all very much for joining us. And remember what Mr. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg always likes to say.
Love to tell you to not remember. I mean, not to forget to remember. Just do it. Just register to be an organ donor. Even if you're already registered, I do it 10 or 20 times a day just for fun. It's so much fun. And then once you've registered about a dozen or 2 dozen times, don't forget to watch the first of things.